Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, you don't know who I am or why I'm here talking to you. I am a love coach specifically for women who are staying in their relationship after infidelity. Yes, I know. I know plenty of people tell you that that's crazy. You can't do such a thing. It will never work out. He was always going to treat you like a doormat. But I am here to tell you I am 15 years past the last D-Day, not the first, but the last D-Day with my husband. We just celebrated yesterday our 20th anniversary, and we are 15 years past last D-Day. And guess what? Guess what? Everything is going well. All right. It's all healed up. I'm all healed up. I trust him again. We're not talking about this forever and ever. We're having a good time and a good life together happily. That is what is happening right this minute with me. All right. And so I know the tricks. I know the things that your brain is telling you right now. I know that you've been traumatized by this. I know that you're more hurt and more devastated than you've ever been in your life. But I'm here to tell you that you're going to get past it and you are going to discover strength within yourself that you never even imagined you have. Okay. It takes some abrasion to be able to shine up a diamond. Okay. It takes a rough surfaces. It takes a little bit of scratching, but you know what? We end up being more polished, shining more brilliantly than we ever could have before without that difficulty, without that trauma to overcome and get to a better person, better you, better who you are supposed to be. Okay. If you have found the person that you love, this is a growth exercise. This is, hey, you found the person that you're thinking that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Here, the universe is going to throw you a curveball and see how well you handle it. If you deserve to keep this, if you deserve to keep your happily ever after. And I am one of those people. I want to keep my happily ever after. Everything that I'm given, I want to keep for myself. My husband was my happily ever after. He was the one. And when I got him, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let his cheating, I'm not going to let his stupidity, his issues mess this up for me. All right. And that's exactly what I did. And I overcame it. And I want to tell you how to overcome it too. Now, just so you know, if you're within the sound of my voice, you can access some of my social media so you can get on a call with me. I have some calls coming up until like next, not this upcoming Saturday and Sunday, but the next Saturday and Sunday, like one full week from here. Okay, look, I got some spots. If you are having trouble, if you have been trying to figure out if you're going to stay, if you've been trying to figure out what you're going to do about this, if you can possibly even heal, not even like knowing if you possibly can do it. If you need some questions answered, you need to talk to me privately. I have some time set up. So on my Instagram, it's in my link tree, and in my Love Coach Dasha, my Love After Cheating group on Facebook, it is posted in the group and it's on my link tree on Instagram. So sign up. Okay. I am freely doing some sessions with you. All right. I'm going to ask you some questions. By the end of this conversation, you're probably going to feel better. You're going to feel like you got some direction. You're not going to feel so terrible as when you got on the phone call with me. So get on a call with me. Okay. Go to one of the links. Do it now. All right. All right. So I always tell you about basic stuff that you can do that is going to make you feel better about this trauma. All right, because that's what this is. Let's not waste any words here. That is what you are dealing with. You are dealing with a trauma, okay? And we have all sorts of traumas, don't we? We have all sorts of things that can cause us to have trauma. Got generational trauma, got childhood trauma, got abuse, got all sorts of things that can cause us trauma in the world. But you know, a lot of the worst trauma that we get comes from the people that we love the most because they are so deeply within us. They have gotten so deep and then they hurt us from real deep place. Okay. And that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with our brains screaming at us that we must be protected and isolated at all times in order to prevent this from happening again. So a lot of the things that your brain is telling you right this second are lies. Okay. Just straight out, not the truth. That whole, oh, I'm not enough thing. Okay. Nobody ever said you had to be enough for somebody else. Nobody ever said that. Okay. I know that that was one of those fairy tale beliefs that they kind of fed into us when we were younger, but it was never true. Okay. You cannot be enough for another person. You can only be enough for yourself. So that's where we're starting from. Okay. But those things that your brain is telling you is lies. And you know why it's telling you lies? Because you're in fight or flight mode, fight, flight, or sometimes freeze. But you're having a physical reaction to this trauma that you're not even totally aware of. Okay. When this happens, you are feeling like you're in danger because that part of your brain is called the amygdala, is the worst case scenario portion of your brain. And it's trying to protect you from any and all hurt, harm, and danger. Okay. And so it's sending out signals with this emotional pain that you experience. It's like, oh my God, it must be a life or death situation. Let's get all of the reactions on it. So it sends out adrenaline. It changes the way you breathe. It changes how fast your heart beats. It makes your muscles. Have you ever been shaky after you've been anxious? It makes your muscles twitch because it sends so much blood to them. It is so much that goes on physically in your body when this is happening. So you've got to fight this physically, not just mentally. It's not just up here. It is actually using your body to start to fix this trauma. All right. First thing about that is your breathing. Okay. Your breathing automatically changes when you are traumatized. Your breathing comes slower, faster, more shallow than it normally does. Usually you can breathe in and out freely. It's not really a problem. But when you are anxious, when you are stressed out, when your chest is hurting, you are kind of sipping the air. You're not really getting a good deep breath in. You're not letting any of that carbon dioxide out. And when you're doing that, that carbon dioxide level is going up in your blood. Your brain is like, oh, something really must be wrong physically because the carbon dioxide level is going up. Something must be wrong. All right. So if you can start to lower that carbon dioxide level, increase that oxygen level, guess what happens? Your brain stops thinking that something is terribly wrong with you. Okay. It starts to calm down. It starts to say, okay, physically wise, maybe something emotionally might have happened, but physically we're safe. And then you can calm down. All right. So do your deep breathing. All right. I say all of that to say, do your deep breathing. We must do this. Okay. I understand that it seems like such a simple thing and it's not something that you would have to remember all the time, but it is the simplest, easiest way to start to regulate your emotions and get back in control of yourself as you are experiencing this trauma. You do not have to keep on feeling all out of control. You don't have to do that. You can feel better. You can feel more in control of yourself, more centered by doing your deep breathing. Okay. So, how do you do that? How do you do your deep breathing? Well, we do 4-7-8 breathing. Now, it can be any pattern. It doesn't really matter what the pattern is. The whole thing that about the counting aloud is the fact that this part of your brain, the amygdala, that little part that's making you freak out, is not the same part of your brain that counts, that is rational. That's up here in the front part of your brain. So we are using a different part of our brains. And so that makes that animalistic part that is freaking right out shut up and sit down. Because if you're counting, you must be safe enough to count. Okay. We need to be able to pay attention to counting. All right. So if you're doing this consistently 5 times a day, you're going to be steadily bringing that level of anxiety down every day, pushing it further and further and further until you feel like you're in control of yourself again. All right. So 4-7-8 breathing, we blow out, make the noise. We want to hear that noise. We want our brain to associate that sound with, oh, I'm coming down. Things are okay. I am safe. It's all right. We need that association. Then we're going to inhale for a count of 4. We're going to hold the breath for a count of 7. And then we're going to blow out for a count of 8. All right. Like you're blowing out a whole cake full of birthday candles, trying to control your breath so that you blow for that entire 8 seconds. All right. When we're doing this, you're going to feel a little sleepy, might be yawning. It's okay. take note of how you feel when you're doing it. We'll talk about that after, all right? But for right now, we are going to do our deep breathing. Come on here, do your deep breathing with me. All right? Ready? First things first, blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. Hey, Tara. Glad to see you, girl. Hi. Glad you're here. How does it feel? How does it feel when you're doing your deep breathing? Should feel a little bit better, right? It usually does. If you can get yourself to just remember when everything is going haywire to just do the deep breathing, that's going to help in and of itself. You're going to be able to calm yourself. You're going to be able to think a little bit better because you are introducing fresh oxygen into your brain, okay? When you are freaked out, you're not doing as much oxygen, okay? It starts to make you think a little bit wonky. So if you are taking those deep breaths, you're getting that oxygen into your brain, you're able to think a little bit better. All right. You can communicate better. Don't you want to communicate better? I'm sure you do, right? All right. If you're here with me now, make sure you give me likes, give me love. If you're here on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you came through to say hi. All right. The second thing that I always tell you, I'm going to continuously remind you of, and I want you to do your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Somebody, please, whoever is with me right now, tell me you have been doing your journaling. Somebody say, yes, yes, I have been journaling this week. Come on, let me hear it. I need to hear it. Oh, because I want, my light went up. There we go. Hit the light right there. All right. I want to hear that you're doing your deep breathing. I mean that you're doing your journaling. This is important. This is good stuff. Okay. We need to sit down with our journal, flip this bad boy open to some blank pages, and write about what is going on within us. Okay. You need to take the time to do it. It's an important thing. It is a great way to start to calm down anxiety, to get yourself centered after you've had a trauma, to try and deal with it, to try and get it out of here and out into the world so that you don't have to continuously deal with it every single day inside you. Okay. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes before you go to bed. That's enough. Okay. I'm not asking for a book a day. I'm asking for about 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. That combined with your deep breathing, it's like what, 20 minutes of your day? That much self-care. You can do this, okay? You can spend 20 to 30 minutes doing those little bit of things for yourself. And if you're not, then you don't want to feel better, okay? We're not even spending a couple of minutes a day on breathing and doing our journaling. We are not behaving in a way that says, hey, I want to heal. So your body and your brain are not going to start to get into alignment with that, and you're going to continue to suffer. Okay. We have to be doing actions here. Actions are important, even just breathing, even just journaling. All right. Important stuff here. Diana, hello to you, beautiful. Glad you are here. So glad you're with me today. Hi. Oh, come on in. Everybody that's here, let me know that you're here. Let me get some love from everybody and get some love in return. Because you know I love y'all. Glad y'all are here. I love to be able to talk to you about this because I want you to heal up. I want you to feel better. I want you to feel as great as I feel. Because honey, I feel great. Okay. I am happy. I'm in love. I am in like a long-lasting relationship where I've never really thought that I would be married for 20 years. Okay. That was not even within my like scope of thought. I thought that, you know, I was fickle. My mother called me. She calls me fickle. And I dated lots of boys. a couple girls. and, and I did not believe that I was going to be in a long-term fulfilling marriage. Like I didn't think that. And I met my husband and my whole thought process about it flipped around. He was the person. So if you find that person, you find that going to change your whole outlook about what your life is going to be, you might want to stick with them. Even if they're doing the wrong thing, I know they have done the wrong thing, but if they're the right person for you, doing the wrong thing is not that important. It really isn't. It is just a growing opportunity for the both of you. And then we can move on to the next part of the story. All right. All right. So that brings me to Thirsty Thursday because I'm always going to ask you for good stuff. Okay. I had great stuff yesterday. We spent the whole day, almost the whole day out. We went out, we had massages at the spa, I got my feet done, he got his nails done. We went to lunch at one of our favorite little hole in the wall places that we have been to since we moved here. Oh goodness, we went and had so much fun. We just had a good day. We went on a little cruise at night. He organized, it's a little cruise on the river down here, and so you can bring drinks and you can bring food and you just hang out and chill on the river and ride around with other people, and it was so nice. We had such a good time. Okay, so Thirsty Thursday, I want to hear your good stuff. Tell me about the things that you are grateful for today or this whole week. You have good things that are still going on in your life, even though this pain has happened to you, even though this drama has happened, there are still good things happening. So I want you to be expressing them. It's very easy to express the terrible things. Okay. Super easy to do that. You fall right into it. It's natural. Your brain automatically looks for negative things. Okay. So it's very, very easy for you to talk about them. What you need to be doing to reprogram your brain after this trauma is looking for the positive, looking for things to be grateful for, because your brain can't argue with you about being grateful about having a roof over your head. It can't argue with you about that. It can't say that that's a bad thing. Okay. It cannot say that you should be grateful for your children. Okay. It can't say that you should be grateful because the lights are on. It cannot tell you that. All right. And it's an easier way to start to think of things positively than just jumping right into, oh, everything is wonderful. And your brain doesn't believe that. Go to grateful first. And that's a stepping stone to good. All right. So Caroline has said, "Oh, your wedding anniversary, your 15th anniversary was Wednesday. Mine was 20 on Wednesday. Look at that." Caroline said, "It was my 15th wedding anniversary on Wednesday. He organized the Twilight Champagne Cruise. Girl, we were doing something. Followed by a dinner at my favorite restaurant. It was our second anniversary since D-Day, with a separation in between. I can really see the effort he is now making, and I had a great evening." Look, see, Caroline said the exact same thing. It gets better, okay? It improves. They show more effort, but you got to start healing, okay? That is the kicker. That is the thing that changes everything, is when you start to heal, because then that gives him the indication that I really can fix this. If you have messed up so bad that you don't feel like you can fix it, you don't try. But if you are seeing that, okay, I messed up, but they're getting better. They're getting to a better place. I think I can actually fix this. I think I can actually do better and treat them better and show them better than I did before. Now you've got him inspired, got a little hope going. And we need that hope to be able to heal both of you. All right. So they get better. You just have to start healing, start the process so that they can feel like, okay, I got some momentum. I can continue this. I can do this. All right. Karen, your 38th anniversary is coming up on October 22nd. Go ahead. Look at that. Look, we are some long marriage individuals in here. We are doing some things that people can't do. You know how many people get divorced? So many people get divorced. So many. And it's just so easy. But you know what? We found the person. That's the person. And we're trying to live out this entire lifetime with the person. Okay. I want to be the story that at the end of our days, we died holding hands and people was crying and boo-hooing because they read about it on the internet. That's what I've been trying to go for. I want to be happy all the way to the end with this person. And if you found that person and you want to be happy to the end of your days with that person, you got to start now. Okay, we got to start healing up now, getting to a better place. All right, let me see. Karen, you said, okay, on the thing you said that your anniversary is coming up and we are at a much better spot. I hope I don't spiral. Any suggestion? Girl, all right, it's just the fact that you realized it, the fact that you are mindful about it, need to be paying attention to that in the days coming up to it. So right now, it probably won't affect you that much, but next week, week after, it's going to start creeping more into your awareness that, oh, well, I don't know if I want to even celebrate. And he did such so wrong. But the thing is, you are celebrating your entire marriage. You're not celebrating just the good parts. Okay. You are celebrating the whole of the marriage. That's what we're supposed to be celebrating. It is a wonderful thing that you have not only had good times, you've had bad times too. We have completed the entire circuit of marriage. We have done exactly what all the vows said we were going to do in marriage. Okay. So don't freak yourself out about, well, it's not perfect and he broke his vows and this and that. You didn't break your vows. So you got the right to celebrate. Okay. And the fact is that even breaking them, the whole point is, even if you do the wrong thing, you're supposed to fix it. This is your person for life. If you do mess up one of these vows, you are supposed to try and fix it. All right. And that's what you're doing right this second, is not letting your story end just because of something bad that has happened. That's a good thing. That is a beautiful thing and something to be celebrated. Okay. It is a good thing that you have been through good times and bad times. That means that you've done everything together. You've done it all. It hasn't just been easy life and it was just fine. No, you can come back later on and be an example to people. You can talk to people. You talk to the younger married people and be like, look, hey, some of that stuff is going to happen. Some of that bad stuff they talk about in the vows is going to happen to you. But besides all that, you can still make it through. Continue with the vows that you made, connect with each other again, be happy. You can do that. It is not an impossible thing, and I did it. It's a wonderful thing for you to be able to tell them that. When you have gone through all these years together, you got something to say. You got a lesson to teach other people. So you should be glad. I'm glad I get to tell you about the bad stuff too. Okay. Because if I just told you, oh, our life together was just wonderful from the very beginning and nothing bad ever happened. Okay. First of all, that's a boring story. Second of all, you'd know I was a liar. Okay. You would know within your being that I'm lying, because who does that? Who has the perfect relationship? Nobody does. I don't care what they put on Facebook. I don't care what they put on Snapchat. I don't care what they put on Instagram. They do not have a perfect relationship. Nobody does. All right. But you can be perfect for each other. You can absolutely do that. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Who's that? Oh, Diana, you said, I am grateful for my relationship going stronger as time passes. Definitely in a better place. And I appreciate you, Dasha. You're so welcome. I'm glad that I could help. I like it when people are getting to a better place. It feels like you can't get anywhere when you first start off. It feels like you are just stuck in quicksand, and the more you struggle, the more you're drowning. But it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing with the quicksand. You got to just relax. You got to stretch yourself out. Got to try and float on the trauma instead of fighting the trauma. You can maybe do that. You can get out of the quicksand. Oh, but I'm so glad. I'm glad that it's going well for you. Good. It's a wonderful thing to hear on Thirsty Thursday. So if you got something good to tell me, you've got something that you're grateful for today, let me know. Tell me. Oh, what happened to my screen? Oh, that's weird. Okay. All right. I don't know if that went out on Facebook. What happened? Okay. Weird. The screen just went totally black. All right. Anyway, hopefully you're still with me over here on Facebook. I don't know. And it's not going back. Weird. Come on. That is strange. All right. Hold on one second. Let me see. The whole doggone screen just went black, and I don't know if it's still recording. Still going to Facebook, still going to YouTube. Dang, nabbit. I mean, really, just totally went black. Okay. Anyway, woo. All right. I'm going to give this a second. I'm going to keep talking for a second and give this a second to get itself together. Hopefully, it will. I don't know. Cancel that. Hey there, Mulatto Beauty. I see you over there on Instagram. Glad you're here. Having a little technical difficulty on YouTube and Facebook, but oh well. I'm gonna keep talking for right now. Let that deal with itself for a second. All right. The last thing that I always tell you all before I forget, it's still recording. You can still see. Okay. Thank you for letting me know because I don't know. It just went totally black on my screen, not showing me anything. Oh, look at that. It came back. All right, finally. Because I could not see. Elise, oh, that's you. Okay, all right. See, I never know who everybody is on Instagram. Always know who you are on Facebook. All right, there we go. Okay, fabulous. All right, last thing that I always tell you that I'm going to continue to tell you that is the thing that most of these relationship people will not tell you. They tell you, like the therapist and the everybody usually tells you that you should just ask all your questions. You should find all of the answers that you want and you feel like you need. And I am here to tell you, don't do that. All right, with all my heart. With all my heart, I want you to believe me when I say you do not need the answers to the questions that you want to ask. They're real destructive. I promise you. They're not going to help you. They're not going to help you to heal because you've already made your decision to stay. You may think that you are collecting this information and that if you collect all this information, then maybe you won't stay. But honestly, truth be told, you've already made the decision. So you're just trying to kind of torture yourself a little bit for making that decision by asking all these questions. You don't need to know. Okay. The details that you want to know are painful at best. That's the best that you can get is some more pain out of these answers. So instead of asking questions that you don't want to know the answer to for real, go to this. This is much better. Much, much easier. The and. Okay. The and. THEAND. It goes for about $30 on Amazon. All you gotta do is put the and into the search. It'll pop right up. This is the Healing Edition, and this is a great replacement for asking all those questions. You want to ask those questions because of traumas. Again, it's just a trauma response. Your body and your brain want to know all of the answers to everything so that you can try and maybe avoid this pain happening to you again. But again, that's not true. All right. That's a lie. The same exact thing could happen to you again, even knowing all those answers. So what your brain is trying to do is trying to make them a threat. And the more information that you have that proves that they're a threat, the more you're wanting to back off, the more you're not wanting to continue with the relationship. That's what your brain is really doing. So instead of letting it continue to do that with these questions that you don't want to know the answers to for real, try a little bit different tactic. Your brain will kind of be itching to ask a question. So ask a couple of these instead. Deal out 2, maybe 3 to each other and go back and forth answering them. This is like that 2 or 3 of them should be like a good 40 minutes of conversation. All right. So instead of what positions did y'all have sex in, which is not going to give you anything that you need. How does jealousy affect our relationship and what can we do about it? That is actually talking about an issue that you are feeling right now that maybe he's got some ideas about. Maybe he can come up with something that would help. And even if he comes up with something that annoys you, try and actually pay attention to it. Try and hear what the answer is and then maybe implement it. Try really hard to make it be a real thing, not just letting it kind of glance off your brain and not believing that he has a solution. Try and see what happens. So, how does jealousy affect our relationship and what can we do about it? All right. You might surprise you. He might talk about being jealous with you. You never know. Another question. How do you define healing? Ooh, good one, right? Isn't that a good one? That's a much better question than did you love her? We don't need to know that. And honestly, he didn't. Promise you, he was using her. He didn't love her. But how do you define healing? How do you define that? What do you think it looks like if I'm all healed up? What does it look like if you're all healed up? That's a good question, right? And one more. What is a value we do not share in common? And why do you think that is? That's an interesting question. That might be a little contentious, might be a little stressful to answer that question, but it's a better question than the ones that your brain is screaming that you ask. And if you get good answers to this question, guess what happens? You understand each other a little bit better. All right. We can get a little closer. We're not as stressed. All right. So that's a good question. I like that one. These are all great questions. If you get this deck, trust me, it has got some really good, like, ooh, that makes me think type of questions that you can sit down with your partner, and it's not accusatory. It is what the box gave you, what the question was that came up. That's what it is. And okay, we can answer these back and forth, and let's not get at each other's throat about it. Let's just go ahead and be honest. It's a great way to communicate. It's good stuff. All right. So don't ask all those questions, but if you do want to ask some questions out of the and deck. All right. All right. See. So now it is question time. I am here to answer all your questions. I want to hear everything that you all have to say. What is going on? What is happening with you? What is stressing you? What are you feeling like, dang, I need some help with today? I am here for you. And let me remind you also, go to in Facebook. It's on my posts in my Facebook group, Love After Cheating, and in my Instagram in the link tree. There is a link to get on a call with me. Okay. So if you're interested in that, you want to talk to me, you got something that you need to talk out, come on and get on a call with me and let me help you out with that. Okay. I got a very limited amount of calling time. I'm doing these until next Saturday and Sunday, and then that's going to be it. So if you want to get in on it, you should do that now. All right. And my computer did the same thing again. It did the doggone blackout thing again. Okay, it came back. All right. I don't know what's wrong with it. Stop it. Don't do that. All right. So let me know if you got questions. Let me know what's going on with you. I'm here to answer what's going on with you. Let me know. It did it again. What is wrong? It is having a whole entire fit over here. That's so weird. Anyway, lots complaints. Anything going on? I'm telling you, man, we had a great time yesterday. We really did. We had so much fun. We always have fun together, though. It's like we enjoy each other's company. We are friends. Like we like one another. And Lord knows you can't get us out together because we'll just sit there and just we'll just imagine things about people. We'll sit there and people watch and just tell each other stories about the people that we see, just making it up, whole cloth, not even close to probably what their life really is. But we'll sit there and tell each other stories back and forth about what we think a person is going through, what's happening in their lives, and we amuse ourselves for hours. I tell you, he is one of my best friends. He's one of my favorite people in the entire world. I would spend time with him over just about anybody on the planet. He's like one of the only people I don't get real tired of. I got like little patience. I'm an introvert. You know what I mean? So like he's the one person that I can always hang around. Oh, let's see. Let me tell you what's been going on that I can tell you. Oh, I want you all to give me problems. while you're here, while you're with me, if you're catching this on the replay, I'm making videos, making reels, trying to make up some theme weeks and stuff. But you all got to tell me like the big problems. What is happening that you are really, really struggling with? If I could wave a magic wand over you and something be different, what's the thing? What's the thing that is causing you that struggle right now? And I'm working on fixes for all of it. All right. I got answers. Okay. And I want to be able to put them out here so that you can actually like access them and know how to fix these things. Let me know. All right. Let's see. Somebody else asked in the group about the first wedding anniversary since D-Day, and she said she was having conflicting feelings, but they're doing well. That the anniversary is around the corner, and she's starting to panic. All right, so this is an anonymous member from the group, so I'll go ahead and answer that question. Unless you all have questions, post them and let me know. But in the meantime, I'll answer that one because I hadn't answered her in the group yet. Um, Handling that first anniversary after D-Day, it's painful. It is difficult. It reminds you of the fact that the vows got broken in the first place, but you're also celebrating the fact that you've come full circle. You have come through the bad times and you've come through the good times. Things are going well now. You deserve to celebrate, all right? You deserve to celebrate every milestone that you actually accomplished. And this year being married after this D-Day, still continuing to be married, that is an accomplishment, okay? You are at a milestone. You should celebrate. You should do good things for each other. You should expect presents. You should celebrate as hard as you possibly can for the anniversary so that you are putting in that positive effort, that positive direction. We are going in a good way right now. Yeah, bad things have happened to us, but bad things are going to happen to you every year of marriage. Like it may be smaller bad things, but something bad is going to happen to you every year. And as you're coming through it, that is a wonderful, beautiful thing to celebrate that the two of you together as a unit came through the thing that could have broke you, the thing that could have just destroyed the whole relationship. You all came through it. So celebrate, have some fun, go and be happy together. Okay. Just let yourself go ahead and be happy. Put the baggage down for just a day. You don't have to continue on without it. You can pick the baggage back up if you really, really want to the next day. But I am saying for the day that you are supposed to be celebrating this union, this marriage, go ahead and put the baggage down and just go ahead and party the night away. Celebrate as much as you can. And then if you really, really feel like picking up some more baggage, go ahead and do it. But you don't have to. All right. Does that make sense? You all let me know. Oh, man. Let's see. Any other good questions? Anybody else got questions? Let me see. Okay, got questions. Diana, you said, I think a problem for a while was always, why do we feel we need a constant apology for what they did? I mean, they can apologize, but why do we feel like we need it daily? Weird. At least I went through that for a long time. You are absolutely right about that. That is a big deal because I kept telling my husband that too. And he was like, well, if you're not going to accept the apology, then what am I apologizing for? There's no need for me to keep on apologizing if you're actually not going to accept it. And that's the whole thing. If you're going to ask for an apology, you have to actually be willing to accept an apology. Don't ask for an apology if you don't want to accept it. If you don't believe it, if you're already in a place where you're like, well, I wouldn't believe his apology anyway, because that's really what it is. You don't really believe the apology. So if that is the case, stop asking for one. Get a little bit more healing under your belt and then come back and say, okay, am I in a place where if he apologized right now, I could feel like I could forgive it? Do I feel like I could accept that apology and believe that it's true and not sit there and gnaw on it like a bone for hours, days later? All right. If you can do that, okay, go ahead and accept the apology and say, okay, from this day forth, I am accepting that you apologize. I know you apologize. I'm not going to keep on asking for you to do it again. Because that's what happens when you feel, when you're in a trigger, when you're feeling bad, you automatically think back to, well, he should apologize for how bad I'm feeling. But at that point, it's not him making you feel like that. It is your own brain making you feel like that. So your own brain needs to apologize. Make your brain apologize. Tell your brain, hey, you owe me an apology for all of that devastating or horrible things that you kept on telling me. And you knew I was staying with him. You knew I did not want to hear all that, but you continued to tell me terrible things anyway. Brain, you owe me an apology. All right. So try that when it's like, oh, I want an apology. Okay, tell your brain to give you an apology. That's who's messing with you right now. Because what he did, that was in the past. We have already dealt with that. Your brain right now is messing with you, stoking that pain again. It is not actually your person doing it now, it's your own brain messing with you. Again, trauma does weird stuff. That's another reason why I tell you not to ask those questions, because as you're going through this, and oh god, the whole interrogation of beginning to end, tell me the whole story, tell me exactly what happened, that is reliving your trauma. Okay, when you keep on going back and asking questions about the trauma and talking about the trauma and embodying the trauma, you are re traumatizing yourself. It's not healing. It's not healing. Okay. You have to separate from it a little bit. Let your heart start to heal up a little bit. Don't poke your fingers into the wound. Let it heal for a little bit. Let that skin get a little tougher on the outside of it before you start poking your fingers in it, so that you can actually heal. I was a nurse for a long time, and they always say the best way to heal a wound is to keep your fingers out of it. And that's what you're doing when you are constantly talking about it, going back to it, putting yourself in that position. You are constantly reopening the wound. You're constantly taking your dirty little fingers and sticking it in an environment that needs to be clean. It needs to be clean and it needs to be covered for a while. All right. So it's okay to do that. Now, the best part about that is if you do this, if you let this wound start to knit itself together, okay, and you start to heal and you start to get better, your mate is going to see that and you're going to get more of what you're needing from them. And it could be lots of different things. It could be the fact that, he can bust out and tell you something about the affair or about the cheating that you didn't know before, that you kind of wanted to know, but you didn't really want to ask that, or you weren't thinking that you would believe him. He will come up with information sometimes. My husband still, to this day, will pop up with information. Just the other day, we were riding in the car, man. He told me that basketball was a serious thing to keep his mania in check. He's got bipolar disorder, and if he played basketball, it kept that mania down. And so when he met me, a little while after he met me, he was playing and tore his rotator cuff, and he wasn't able to play anymore. So he didn't have that outlet, and so all of this nervous energy, all of this bad ideas, went ahead and chose something else to do. Instead of going to his go-to coping mechanism, he didn't have that anymore. And so he ended up doing something wrong. And so I was like, wow, I didn't know that. Like, even though I knew that he hadn't been playing basketball, it did not connect with me that that was helping his mental health to be better so that he didn't do other wild things. So I was like, oh, you're right. Around that same time, that's when it happened, was after you couldn't play basketball anymore. Then you started cheating. Then all of a sudden you were doing that. I didn't even realize that. Had no idea. And this is 15 years later, I'm just now finding this out. A lot of the things that happened in this situation won't come clear until we are out of that emotional situation. We are too emotionally dysregulated right off the bat to get any good information. And if you are years down the line, but you're still all emotionally dysregulated, you're still getting triggered all the time, you're still mad all the time, you're still telling him that he needs to apologize all the time. If you're still there, you're still not at the point where you can actually open up and get the information that you want. You healing is what's going to get you the information. That's exactly how it works. You are going to have to heal some, then more information comes. Then you heal a little bit to the level that you're able to, and then you get information to the level that you're able to tolerate that. It more and more flows into your experience the more you decide to heal, the more you take it seriously and get to that healing place. All right. So you get that. That's a great thing, right? Isn't that much better than just having to suffer with this forever, right? I don't want you to have to suffer with this forever. I don't feel like you should have to do that. You shouldn't have to always be thinking about this, have this in the back of your mind and stressing you and making your brain itch forever. You should be consistently making moves towards the life and the love that you want to have. And that is what's going to start to get you down that healing path. And once you start down the healing path, honey, get a little momentum going. I'm saying just a little bit of momentum. It will take you, it will start to carry you. You will start getting better faster than you thought you could. It starts off slow. It does. And it's a piss off that it does not start faster than it does. But you also have to allow yourself to be carried. You have to allow yourself to be carried on. You have to get to the place where you're willing to say, okay, I want to heal. I'm going to let go and I'm going to go forward. And it's scary, but I'm going to go ahead and let myself heal. All right. When you start to do that, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. It's less scary every single solitary time you do it. And then you learn to trust. You exercise your trust muscles. You recognize places where you're not being your most trusting self. And then you do the opposite. You trust more. You give that trust. You look for the opportunities to express that trust. You stretch those muscles out, make them work a little bit harder than they have been working. Okay. It's just like every other muscle on the body. Trust me, they need a little resistance to work out. All right. You've got the resistance already. You already feel some kind of way. So now that you've got that resistance, work out against it. Every time your body is screaming, no, you shouldn't trust him. Pay attention to that. Understand that that's what you're thinking, and then change the thought. All right. I'm choosing to trust him. I want to trust him. I desire to trust him. I enjoy trusting him. I love to trust him. I trust him with all my heart. I trust him more than I did yesterday. You can just keep on saying the opposite of the thing that your brain is freaking out about, and consistently telling your brain the opposite of that thing is going to make your brain start to believe that thing. Your brain is an employee. Okay. Your brain is an employee, and what you tell it, it's going to start believing, and it's going to start responding that way. So you've got to be consistent in your message, mindful about what you are thinking, and then mindful about the thoughts that are taking away from those negative thoughts that you were thinking. All right. Any questions? You're so quiet today. What's going on? Nobody's talking. Nobody telling me anything. Nobody's got anything interesting going on. Oh goodness. I tell you though, I used to want an apology all the time, but my husband's kind of hardcore, and he was like, "I'm not gonna keep apologizing if you're not gonna accept the apology. That's stupid. I shouldn't keep doing that." I have a dude, he's a high degree of difficulty. I've always said this about him. He's a higher degree of difficulty. He says whatever, okay, and if he doesn't want to do something, he's not doing it. All right. So that was where it started off. When I started healing, I started feeling like, well, he's not doing any of the things to heal. But I'm glad he didn't now, because now I know that was never necessary. Him doing the things to heal me wasn't going to heal me. I wasn't willing to accept him healing me, and giving over that amount of power to somebody who has just hurt you is a silly thing to do. I feel like I shouldn't give them the responsibility that here's my heart. You fix it. You broke it. So here, you should fix it. That seemed wild. That seemed wild to me. I was like, let me work on fixing my heart up. I'm gonna bandage it up, get it in the working order again, and then I'm gonna offer it to you to love. I'm not gonna offer it to you to fix. I'm gonna offer it to you to love with all the cracks in it and everything that you made, and I'm believing that you're gonna love it anyway. I think you're gonna give me that love anyway. And I was right. And I don't think that you're wrong about your honey being that way either. Once you heal a little bit and you're ready to go ahead and put your heart back on the line, I think that he's gonna be careful with it. Now, I don't believe in anybody should be in complete control of your heart. I think that people can fumble it. All right. I feel like people fumble their own hearts on a regular basis. So it's not about not loving you. It's just about the fact that we're kind of clumsy and we do the wrong things and trying to handle your heart along with somebody else's heart. They may fumble, they may drop it from time to time. But if you got a good person, they're going to want to help you. They're going to want to pick it up. They're going to want to dust it off. They're going to want to put it back and make sure that it's in working order. So if you got that person, go ahead and let yourself start to heal up. Go ahead and do it. It's safe. All right. And, even if something bad happens again, even if he does this again, all right, it still doesn't change the fact that you are completely within your control to be able to feel better. He can do what he does, but you are the one that's in control of what you feel and what you do. And so if you keep that in mind and you keep acting in a way that is in alignment with, I love this person and I expect this person loves me too. If you continue to act like that, you continue to go forward in your mission like that every day, um, the other person is going to finally come to accept the fact that, oh, they believe in me. Oh, let me not screw this up, because they really actually believe in me. They've been consistently showing me over and over again that they're in alignment with believing in me. So maybe I shouldn't mess this up for them. Maybe I should do better. Maybe I should step up more. Maybe I should do more to show them that I care about them the same way. And that's how you get to the great happiness after all this is done. You get to your happily ever after by being that love that you want to have in your life, showing that love, believing in that love that is for you. Nobody said that you weren't good enough for this love, okay? Only thing that said that was probably the little monster inside your brain. But I'm telling you, and I hope everybody else that loves you tells you, you are worthy of love. You are worthy to be loved. Believe in it. Believe that if you found it, that you weren't crazy, you weren't looking at the wrong thing. You know real love when you see it, and accept it. Let it be in your awareness and your experience. Let it come in. Don't spend all your time saying, well, I'm not loved, and blocking love at every turn. Don't do that. Every time there is an opportunity to believe that you are loved, believe it. Believe it. Trust in your own experience. Okay. Does that make sense to y'all? Let me know. Do I sound crazy? I know people tell me I be sounding a little crazy sometimes, but this is the way it actually worked. I did all the things that you all did. It didn't work. It just did not work. It didn't make me feel any better. It was like, oh, here, you fix it. No, that didn't work. Here, you answer all my questions. That didn't work. Well, you keep on acting like you're sorry and you're just so pitiful. That didn't work. None of it works. None of that stuff that people tells you works. Okay. If it worked, I'd say do it. But it doesn't. It just makes you suffer. I think that's why sometimes marriage counseling doesn't work. Couples counseling doesn't work for this, because couples counselors will be coming at it from the idea that, oh, this person is so traumatized. Let's baby up their trauma. Let's coddle this trauma. And that's supposed to make them feel better. Because that's what they end up saying. They're like, oh, well, yeah, she's hurting so bad. So you need to do X, Y, and Z so that she can feel better. But your feel better doesn't come from him. And I understand that that's what they're thinking. Okay, get both parties to work on the relationship. I understand that that's the idea behind it, but there are two people who are hurting in this situation. You're not actually the only person hurting. They had to be hurting because if they did something this messed up, they had to be hurting somewhere, right? We don't do just reckless, stupid, mean, horrible things just because we feel good about ourselves, right? You don't, right? I don't do that. So there had to be some pain from him too. So if you got a counselor who was like, oh, you need to just be doing X, Y, and Z to fix her, that's still not addressing their pain either. And so then, yeah, they do X, Y, and Z, and that really doesn't help your pain because your pain relief does not come from outside you. So you're not getting anywhere. They feel like they're pouring all of this into you, and it's not getting anywhere. It's not doing anything. It's not helping you, and it's not, because that's not what actually works. So I think that's the reason why a lot of couples counseling doesn't actually work out for this, unless you actually have both people working towards fixing their own issue. It doesn't work very well. All right. Diana, you said that makes sense. Good, good. You're so welcome. I try and make sense to you. I try and give it to you from a different perspective, because I know the perspective that you've been hearing it from, but I know that that perspective doesn't work. I tried it. I've seen hundreds of women try it, and it does not work. If it worked that way, I'd say great, but it really doesn't. A lot of the things that they're going to tell you just do not actually align with a real healing in the world, and that's why I came up with the dreams formula. You got to decide what you want to do. You got to make that decision. Do not leave that decision up to them. That is not their decision to make anymore. They don't get to make big decisions right now because they've made messed up decisions. Hey, their decision making is faulty right now. Hey, look, you need to be the one making this decision whether you all are going to be together. And then you got to recognize that if you say, it's going to be scary, and if you go, it's going to be scary. All right. So you've got to recognize that fear speech is going to come with that decision, and decide that you're going to battle it. You're not going to just let that fear win out. All right. You got to figure out what they did, why they did this, what pain was it they were going through that made them feel like this was a good idea. I always tell people that, and people respond to that as an idea, because we do not do things this wrong if we're feeling good. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. So, what was going on with them that made them feel so bad that this became a good idea? Allow the healing to happen. You've got to let down the walls. You've got to stop fighting to keep them away from you. You've got to start welcoming them back into your heart. You've got to start believing in their love. You got to put your ring back on. You got to sleep in the same bed. You got to have sex on a regular basis. Do the things that a couple does, and believe in the love that you have. Allow that healing to help you. Let it go along and do the things that you would do if you were happy and everything was great. M is managing those future feelings. You're going to have triggers, because that's what happens when you have trauma. But you have to recognize that they are triggers and come up with a plan ahead of time. Let yourself know, hey, if I have a trigger about his phone ring, I'm going to go do my deep breathing. I'm going to journal about it for about 5 minutes. I'm going to tell my brain that, hey, his phone ringing is not a threat to me. I am safe. I do not need to concern myself with that. And I'm going to do that over and over again. And if I need to do something else, I'm going to throw that in. But I'm going to be making sure that I continuously do something about these triggers, and not just let them eat me alive. And don't think that somebody else has to do something about the trigger. You cannot run from it. If you tell somebody, well, no, your phone shouldn't go off because it triggers me, then that trigger never goes away. That you have never dealt with it. You're saying that, here, take responsibility for my trigger away from me. And then I can just get mad at you whenever your phone actually does ring. But in the meantime, I'm not thinking about it because it's not ringing. But then guess what happens? The phone doesn't ring, and you're triggered by that too. All right. Triggers don't play with you like that. If you run away from a trigger, you're going to run slam into another one. There's no need to even run from them. Go ahead and confront whatever trigger it is within yourself. Do what you need to do, the work you need to do about it, and then move forward. Don't try and act like somebody else needs to tiptoe around your trigger. It will not work. All right. And then, of course, ask some support. Seek support. Get somebody on your side who knows all this stuff and can tell you, and can remind you, can tell you, look, hey, I understand that you're trying to do this because you think it's going to make you feel better, but I'm telling you, it's not going to make you feel better. You should do it this way. If you can get somebody on your team that can do that for you, you'll be a lot better off. Okay. Now, I didn't have that. I did not have that. I had exactly one person tell me, hey, okay, but you love him. So, all right, you can just be with him then. One person, exactly one. And so that's why I wanted to make this group and be able to tell as many women as I possibly can. If you love them, just be with them. You don't have to leave them. You don't have to feel like you gotta leave them just because this has happened. I know that that's a thing. I know that people say that that's what you should do. But guess what? You can make up your own mind. That was a wonderful thing to know that. So I want to be able to tell other people that. So I'm telling you now, you can absolutely work this out because there's somebody you love. If that's your choice, then you've got the right to make that choice, but stick with it. Go ahead and make the choice and then behave as if that is your choice. All right. So that's what I would be doing if I was your support. I would help you like that. I'm going to be consistently telling you what you can do on your own without expecting miracles from other people, what you can do to start to fix this trauma within yourself so that you can start to heal, and then we can get on the healing path together. The relationship gets better and better and better after that. But you've got to heal first. You are the entire point. You've got to start to heal first. All right. So if you need that support, get on a call with me. Okay. Got some things coming up. You don't want to miss it. You want to be a part of this. Come on here. Come let me know what your problems are. And we're gonna talk about it. By the time you get off the phone with me, I promise you. Anybody here? There's a couple people here I think that have been on a call with me. When you got off the call with me, didn't you feel better? Somebody who is here, I want to replay right now. If somebody has talked to me on the phone, on Zoom, and you're like, damn, I did feel really much better after I talked to Coach, please tell them that that's what I do. All right. All righty, y'all. I don't see any other questions. So I'm going to just go to the last part, which is another thing that I'm going to always tell you. I want you to be doing your affirmations. I need you to be doing that. I need you to be sitting down with yourself day to day and telling yourself something positive about you. This trauma will try and ruin your self esteem. It will tell you that you're just so awful, or you're not enough, and you're just too fat, or you're too skinny, you're too this, or you're too that. And that's why you're just not loved. And that's the only way this could have happened. It's not, okay? And chances are it didn't have anything to do with his love for you at all. It had to do with the pain that he was experiencing. So you have to start talking to yourself better. You have to start telling your brain, hey, no, no, no. I am wonderful. I am a beautiful, lovely human being. I'm a great woman. I'm a great girlfriend or wife. I'm a great mom. I will not accept that about myself. I will not accept this negativity about myself. I don't deserve that. Of course I don't. I'm good. I never said, who said I was so bad? Your brain is making that up. It's just telling you this stuff to make you feel more disconnected, more lonely, more in pain. And so then if you do that, you back off of people. All right. So instead of letting your brain do that, tell it something different. Tell it, no, 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 no. You're not going to have me believe in the worst of myself. I'm a great girl. I'm a great catch. However, this bad things do happen to good people all the time. That doesn't matter. I am moving forward. All right. So let's see. My Diana said, get on a call. Now, see, Diana, you caught me when I was still actually doing some couples. I'm not even doing any couples anymore. I am still very much talking to the women. Honestly, the guys getting away. I swear. Now, they do like talking to me. Now, guaranteed, if you can get them on a call with me, they like talking to me because I tell them what you can be doing, what they can be doing. I give you plays. I'm a coach. I'm not just sitting there doing therapy and we're just listening to your complaints. I am like, okay, hey, if this is a problem, this is what we should do about this problem. Can you agree to that? Can you agree to that? All right, let's do that. I'm giving plays, I'm giving, action. They love that. Okay. Women don't enjoy that as much as men do. But exactly, Diana. Diana's here to tell you, if you get on the call with me, you're gonna feel better. You're gonna feel like, okay, I got a better handle on this. I can do this. All right. All right, let's see. My affirmation for today. Now, you're going to look yourself in the eye and you are going to say it with complete belief. You're going to say it like you believe it, like you never believed anything else before in your entire life. You're going to say it like you know it to be true, okay? This affirmation says, today I am compassionate. Today, I will reach out and help another person feel better about themselves. Doesn't that make you feel good about yourself when you make other people feel good about themselves? Makes me feel good. All right. So today, I am compassionate. I'm not shut down. I'm not angry. I'm not cut off from people. I'm compassionate to people. I am open to people. I am receiving of other people's energy right now. I know that other people are going through some stuff. I might be able to help them go through some stuff. I am one of those chicks who can fix stuff. Let me go ahead and help. All right. So today I am compassionate. Today I will reach out and help another person feel better about themselves. Because, honey, let me tell you, when you do that, you feel good about yourself. I am a firm believer in telling women that they look good. Okay. And I will consistently, especially if you've got a great pair of jeans on, your butt looks good. Oh, I feel like you should know that. All right. I feel like I should tell you so that you are aware that these are the jeans, girl. These are the jeans that make your butt look fantastic. I'm going to let you know. All right. I do it all the time. My husband just laughs at me, but I'm consistently doing that. So be compassionate about everybody. Look around. What are people trying to be noticed for? What are people trying to put out there? Notice it. Be compassionate about that. Notice whatever it is that they're trying to do. If they're trying to look really great that day, look at it and be like, hey, I see you. I see you, girl. I see you. Look at you, looking all cute. Give them that recognition. It's compassionate for them. It is saying that I sense that you are needing this and I'm willing to give this to you. When you do that on a regular basis, it feels wonderful. It really does. It feels so good to be able to tell somebody something good to make them smile. Tell the lady in the drive-through that her nails are cute. I told my landlady that her hair was beautiful the other day. It doesn't matter. Be compassionate about other people and be that well of positivity to them on a regular basis. You'll get that back. You will get that back, and people will remember you for it. All right. Taylor 85. I'm getting ready to go, girl, but thank you for coming anyway. Appreciate you for being here. You got any questions before I get ready to go? I don't see any questions over here on Facebook. But Taylor, if you want to get on a call with me, go into my link tree. The top link is for a call with me. Getting on a 45-minute call. We're gonna talk. I can make you feel better. I can make you feel like, okay, I can see this from a different perspective. This is not quite as horrible as I thought it was. I can work this out. I can do this. All right. I can have you feeling like that in the 45 minutes. All right. So it's in the post for Love After Cheating, and it is in my Linktree bio. You said you're late. You had to make dinner for the family. That's all right, girl. I understand. That's why I'm later now. It's because I got stuff to do for the boy in the afternoons now. But hey, we can work it out for 9 o'clock from now on. It's a little bit later. It's a little bit better time for some people. All right. I think that's it. I think. Don't see any other questions. Oh wait, hold on. Wait. Hold on. What'd you say? Who lied? He lied. Oh wait, that didn't pop up over here. Hold on. He lied and did what? Let me see. Barbara. Hi, Barbara. He lied so much, I no longer know what is true. He has forgotten many hurtful behaviors. He's 77 and I'm 75. Well, you know what? He probably has forgotten. And the thing is, they always do. The thing is, the things that you are really focused on, and it's for everybody too. The persons you love the most, if they do something hurtful to you, that is a memory that sticks out in your mind, but it doesn't so much to the person who did it. They don't think about all that because it wasn't at a moment where their feelings got hurt. So they missed it. They don't understand that you are still stuck on this thing that happened because they don't remember the details. And then that's another thing that happens when women are asking the details about what happened. And then men are like, well, I don't remember. Like, I'm like, it wasn't that big a deal to me. That they're telling the truth. It wasn't such a big deal to them that they're actually remembering it like minute for minute, trying to actually remember what happened and be able to tell you like a movie. They don't remember. It's not as important to them as it is to us. And so we are treating it like it's a super important thing that has happened in our lives. And to them, it was a moment of weakness, a little bit of stupidity, a little bit of selfishness. And that was all it was. So it is like that quite often, especially if you're up in years. If he was in this, he did this like over years. He's done this since he's been a little older, because I find that there are different periods of time. Like when they're in their 20s, they cheat because they were told they were supposed to cheat. They're told that their hormones are supposed to be, they're not supposed to have blue balls. They're supposed to have as much sex as they want to, as many women as they want to. In their 20s, they believe that that's what's going on with them. Then their 30s, like their late 30s, their hormones start to change. They get less testosterone in their bloodstream, and that continues from like their like late 30s into their 40s and 50s. And so that testosterone level is going down, and they feel that, and they feel the lack of that hormone. The way we feel when we have messed up hormones, they feel that too. And so they recognize when talking to a brand new woman that it makes them feel that surge of testosterone again. And they think, oh, it must be this woman. And it's not. It's just because it's a new woman, and it's a new woman stimulated that inside their brain and got that testosterone flowing for them again. They think, oh, well, yes, this person, I love her so much because she made me feel so good. But it was hormones. That's all it ever was. In their 40s, a lot of the time it's some hormones. Might be leading into like a midlife crisis. 40s into 50s. 40s into 50s, it's that whole midlife crisis, this whole did I become the man that I thought that I was going to be? Did I accomplish what I thought that I was going to accomplish? Did I become who I set out to be? That kind of existential crisis is like in their 40s and 50s, and they feel bad about what they perceive are their failures in life. And then 60s, 70s, it's more of a mortality thing. It is coming to terms with the fact that you are getting closer to the end of your life than you are to the beginning of your life, and it freaks you out. And a lot of people deal with the idea of impending death with sex, because those are two ends of the spectrum. Sex creates life, and then we got death. So it's like, if you can get in on a life-giving activity, you feel closer to life. And so it's not quite as scary to think about your life coming to that end. There's different reasons, like socially and emotionally, for most men throughout the years. Now, this is not the only things that happen, but this stuff that I'm talking about is a lot of the lost part of the why they do this. They lose things as they go along, and they feel like they haven't gotten to the best places that they needed to be. And so then they feel bad about themselves, and then this becomes a good idea to go ahead and cheat. So it depends on what was going on with him. He said 2 physical affairs over 53 years married, now separated. It was twice in 53 years. He's actually doing pretty good. He did not cope the way he should have. No, of course not. But whatever was going on within him, I would bet it was some pretty big stuff that was happening at the time with him. And so I feel like if you want to be together, be together. Don't just leave him because, oh, this has happened over 53 years. Twice messing up in 53 years is actually not that bad. You've had things that you've messed up twice in 53 years, I'm sure. So, probably some things that he thought about leaving you for too. So, if that is the case, if in 53 years, these are the only two slip ups that he's had that you know of, he's actually not doing too bad. He's lived a pretty long life avoiding using sex as a crutch, as an addiction, as something to make him feel better. He did pretty good for that. So, Barbara, you go ahead and text me. You let me know if there's more to it. But I mean, if he's still your honey, and after all these years married, 53 years married, do you really want to throw it away over him being stupid about something? Like, really? Like, is it really worth it after all this time together, after loving him for all these decades? Is it really worth it to kick him to the curb because he did something dumb? He's getting up there. As you get up there, you make different decisions about your life. Like I said, a lot of it's a mortality thing. If this was very recently, I have seen people actually have sex in funeral homes. So, it's a very strong mentality as you are nearing those years where you have less time in front of you than you did behind you. People start freaking out. People start behaving in bad ways. And sometimes there's some dementia in there. Sometimes there's some Alzheimer's mixed in with that. But if this was just, coming to grips with his mortality, it probably didn't have anything to do with you. It just had to do with something that he was feeling. You know what I mean? So if you want to stick it out, Barbara, get on a call with me. Go ahead and click the link. Matter of fact, let me put it in the comments right now. And on Instagram, it is in my link tree. Here's the link. Put that right there so you can get to it. But yes, Instagram is in my link tree. YouTube, go to Instagram, go to my link tree if you're not in my Love After Cheating group, but it is in the comments if you're in the Love After Cheating group, and it's posted in the actual group. So get on a call with me. Come talk to me. I got answers for you. I can help you with this. I do not want you to continue to do this alone. You don't have to. All right. Whew. All right. I think that's it. I think that's all the comments. You're so welcome, girl. I try and give you a little bit of different perspective. That's all. I know what the trauma is telling you, but the trauma is not always correct. And you got to recognize sometimes your brain will tell you things that are just not true. Here's the thing. I can tell you right now, I can prove it right now. Right this second, in your vision, there is a blank spot you cannot see because your brain fills it in with other visual information so that you do not see a blank spot. But I know that there is a blank spot because it's of where your retina is attached to your eyeball. There is no vision there. There's no rods, there's no cones, there's no information to be given to your brain. You do not see anything in that little circle where your retina is attached. But guess what? Your brain will make it up. It will tell you that you see everything perfectly. There is no hole in your vision whatsoever. All right. So don't always believe your brain. Okay. You are the thinker. Your brain is an employee. All right. It's supposed to be serving you. It is not supposed to be running things. All right. All right, Diana, you're welcome. And good night to you. Good night to everybody over here on Instagram. I'll see everybody again next week. Remember, do your deep breathing, do your journaling, be grateful. Stop asking all those damn questions, do your affirmations, and don't do what the fear tells you to do. All right. I love you and I am so, so proud of you. And I will see you again next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. Talk to you later. Bye, Instagram. And bye over here on YouTube and Facebook. See y'all next week.